Hi felters and welcome. So I've had a few requests about how to do a sheep head in a little bit more detail, and this one I'm doing, it's got lots of pink fluffy wool. This is a massive ball of wool, and I've done the head really loosely here, so I'm about to sort of finesse it all over and felt it properly. Always try and keep that nice angle as you're going along, and then we're going to do the eyes and I'm going to talk you all through it. Measurements, just so you know, are 3 inches, 2 and then 1.5 across. So here we are, I've hardened it all up. And then I squeeze it that way and then squeeze it that way, so you try and get sort of a bit of a point on the nose. There we go. So it's going to round off, and then I'm going to work on defining just this area across the top a bit more, because sheep actually have quite thin parts of the nose at the lower end. So just work it in, and I have felted it quite hard anyway. Just get it in a bit, and then they're going to have a jawline here, so you're not going to do too much, but you're just going to sort of narrow off there. And the eye's going to go about there. So I'm just felting this inwards. It's just creating that nasal bone down the top. Then I'll do the same on the other side. Still, the nose still should drop off quite a bit, so you can keep pushing it with your fingers. So I think you can see I've narrowed down both sides, pushed it down to the point, made a mark for the eyes, but we're going to do them a little bit lower actually, looking at it. Sometimes I define under the cheek or chin, but you know, we're not, this is, I'm not doing a sort of big job. This is not a horse or anything like that where I need to do loads of work on it. So the eyes, you're going to do backwards, obviously, so that they don't meet in the middle. Not that these ones would. These are 6mm black eyes. I'm thinking they're a bit small, but I'm going to go with it. I'd rather small than too big personally. So I've gone through, checked the level. Just going to go down a little bit, check it from the front, just go up a bit. I have got this pink has got black flecks in it, although brown would look a lot softer. I'm going with the black, and I've got black hooves bits as well. So there's those two. I'll just glue them in and meet you in a minute. So I've glued the eyes in. They literally glue straight away. Don't even have to let them dry. Taking the tiniest bit of black, before you do anything else with the eye, always do the outline, and this gives it the shape. Let's see if you can see that clearly. I think you can. I do go for a finer needle normally just to get this in. Sometimes, we'll see. So I do the point here, take it down and round. Do not hit the plastic of the eye itself because you will scratch it. It doesn't have to be perfect. We are going to do a little bit of detail above the eye. I always do a piece that's way too long and then cut it off, because otherwise you end up with not enough most of the time. Just drag it back down and round. Let's go fine needle now, just to get those little bits in. It does not have to be perfectly shaped, it just adds detail. Blow as you cut it off so that the black doesn't land. And so that's the detail either side of the eye. I'll just do the other one. There we go. So that has softened the eyes remarkably. Very important. Now we're going to do a top eyelid. So take some white Let's have a look. You're not going to need too much. Let's make that smaller. You do want enough for it to actually look good. So let's check for any bits. So I tend to felt it a little bit. It's going to be slightly wider than the eye, and you want a nice edge to it. So just felt it through, fold it in half. Don't overly felt all of the fluffiness because you want that. So you've got a nice edge there, and you're just going to put it at the top of the eye, and you're going to create that, how would we say, 90-degree angle almost, or a sort of arc moon over the top. Now how you put this on dictates whether the sheep looks angry, very angry, or if you can soften it a bit by not too harsh, then the sheep won't look as angry. There we go. It's a little bit angry. It depends on where you put your angle on the sheep. If you bring it forwards a bit, it looks a bit less angry. And if you put it right forwards, he looks worried. So you can see this is all a bit not fluffy enough to merge in, so I've just fluffed it a bit. That will help it merge in. Let's just check, see what we're doing, see if we're happy. There's a bit of black, don't want that. And you're just giving the sheep an upper eyelid, basically. Now with some of the other animals, you go into doing a lower eyelid too. Starts to look really good. And with the horse, you put a lot of emphasis on the top of the eye. But that will be in my horse course in much more detail. So let's just see, do we need to play around with it? Yeah, we can get that down a bit, I think. So both eyes are done, they're not perfect. I'm just neatening up through here. That bit needs to be all neatened up and eliminated. You can see the join. This bit here, it's perfectly all right to raise it a bit. So do add a bit more because their noses do normally come up quite high. So I'm just going to definitely add a bit more, and it will help cover up any of the join marks. So it's sort of re-emphasizing this big nasal bone where the airways are for the sheep. This is why I haven't done the end of the nose. Okay, so I'm just gonna work that all in, put a bit over there, cover up that join because that's quite a bad one. Now so I've just neatened and tidied all of that up. Could do that bit a bit more. So I'm going to do the mouth and nose, which you guys have all seen me do so many times. So twizzle the old black. Hi Bella, Bella's just come in. So not too low, not too high. Oops. And you don't want it to look silly. So just start about there, have a look, have a try. So again, I've done it way past I've done it way longer than it should be. Right, this is where you need to get it straight because it just looks so awful. If it's wonky, it will annoy you so much. So is it straight to the mouth? I mean, this really looks like a dinosaur right now. So, because I've felted this already quite hard, this is okay with this needle, but as you guys probably know, a lot of the time use a finer needle so you don't overly felt the mouth in too far. Like the black will all start to disappear into the white. Again, drop my scissors. I'll get my scissors and trim that bit and that bit. Then I'm going to do the V and the bit down the middle, and I'll see you then, because you guys have seen this an awful lot from me. So I've done the nose. Got to get it all straight. I'm pretty happy with it. And if it's not, you can just squidge it a little bit. And then I did chisel a bit more here, because you got this nasal bone. You could, I mean, even make that quite a hard edge, but again, like I said, I'm not doing this as a really detailed sheep. I'm supposed to be just doing it. It's not supposed to be super realistic, but again, chiseling it in just there and there really helps. There we go. Just check, he's looking a little bit wonky there, but you can squidge. And then I'm just going to put a bit of brown in the nose there, and the brown is going to go in the eyes to match the hoof colour, which is brown. So again, you just pop it in. You don't need much in here. I was thinking of doing pink, but you know, I just think it'll look too pink. I sort of ball this up a little bit with my fingers. I think I'm going to just do it brown. I can change it, you know, if I do it all and I don't like it, but I just don't want it to look too pink. And when I did the grey one, I'll try and put a picture up here actually of the grey one that I did. He had a brown nose. Beige, shall we say? Try and do it triangular. Doesn't matter too much. Yeah, I'll see how that looks. Like I said, I can change it. And then that's most of the detail for the face. And then the ears. So I'll record an ear on fast and you can see that, but you know how to do ears. I always try and not fold the ears until I've done the other one, so I can check the size is correct, and then you fold over. And I want these really quite well shut. So I want quite a lot of felting through, and then felt this bit down a bit as well, the front. because I really want them to stay together. And then we'll attach it and I'll have a little play. Obviously you wouldn't do that or that, but you can do that pose, that pose, that pose. I quite like that pose, but I'll have a play and I'll just attach it at the back and show you that. So there we go. Sorry, this has been done at night. Let's try and get a bit closer to the light. There we go. So sheep's head all done. I always put a bit of white fluff at the top here just to cover. Well, I just think it looks nicer. Whatever the colour of the sheep, even Herdwick's, I do a bit of white fluff. I might just do a quick video of it in the day tomorrow and then you can see it a bit better. So here's the sheep, head attached. Admittedly, she is extremely fluffy. She did sell straight away at my craft fair. They're very popular with this sort of design, but you can see, yeah, there's a lot of wool. But this is a really sort of simple head design for a sheep in a little bit more detail, and I hope that's helped you. So thank you for watching, everybody. If you've got any questions, put them below, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.